Hey guys, so we got a survey a few days ago in Dokkan, and one of the big questions that the survey asked was, would you guys be interested in seeing bigger celebrations centered around Dragon Ball Heroes collabs? And I feel like the majority of players who play the game probably answered yes. Bigger celebrations meaning Dokkan Fest exclusives, LRs, and I think they mentioned very difficult events in the same language that they used to describe Legendary Goku event, Super Battle Road, and Infinite Dragon Ball history. So we could be seeing some pretty big stuff coming from specifically Dragon Ball Heroes into Dokkan very soon. So this video is primarily going to be looking at 20 units that I think could be coming to, well, not could be coming, but like, you know, a few of them at least I could see within the relatively near future being implemented into Dokkan in some form. So here, first of all, I just wanted to take a quick look at the Dragon Ball Heroes category on the game. It's a little bit small. I mean, these clearly are. This category is clearly not meant to be like a main category, quote unquote, because it's just all collab characters, and it's kind of crazy if we think about it, how many collab characters we've gotten over the course of the past 4 years. I mean, we started out with like 3. And then every year they started doing more and more and more, and then once World Mission came out, that's when I feel like they really started pumping out more of these because they felt comfortable with the fact that now Global was actually finally able to get these characters added into the game. So clearly a lot of room for growth here. The one thing I will mention before we jump into the list is I feel like a lot of these characters are going to be benefiting not just this category, but also other categories as well. For example, this guy's Super Saiyan 3. This Supreme Kai Time was on like every single team you see recently because of Last Resort, Patara, Realm of Gods. So, and again, all these characters are pretty much on Time Travelers as well. So, the way I built my list here, it's not really in an order, but it kind of is. Like the last like top five that I have are pretty much the ones that I think I really want in the game. But the way I structured the list was I wanted to emphasize like units that I thought could help the game the most. Not necessarily be like the best units or be the most like impactful, but I want them to implement units from Heroes who could potentially have the biggest like positive impact on teams that are not necessarily the best. For example, Giant category. So those categories that just need like a boost, like Super Saiyan 3, I feel like could definitely get a lot of boosts too. So categories characters who fulfill those categories and those requirements, I feel like definitely deserve to be implemented first so that they could start fleshing out those little bit weaker categories and stuff like Last Resort, Pure Saiyan. Like they don't really need help that much. So for characters who are going to be mainly on those teams, I don't think it's necessarily the smartest thing to start, you know, pumping out a lot of like fusion characters and stuff, even though that would be very cool. But yeah, let's start here with our first character. We have Hearts. A lot of you guys probably know this guy from the Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime, which is where most people probably know him from, but he is a card in the game, and he has 3 forms. So this is his base form, and then he also has a Super Hearts form, and then once he, I guess, absorbs that like universal seed, he becomes Ultimate Hearts. So this is the final form. So I guess if they wanted to implement this guy, they could have him start out as base, have a transformation into Super Hearts, and then maybe an active skill or something along those lines into this form. The reason this guy's last is because I don't really know what teams he would fit on. Maybe like, obviously Time Travelers, Dragon Ball Heroes, maybe Transformation Boost, I guess. That would probably make sense. Full Power, that's probably it. I don't really know what else he could do. Okay. Next we have Omega Shenron Xeno. So this guy's not really going to be super impactful, I feel like, on many teams. Obviously, if you take a look at the Omega Shenrons that already exist in the game right now, the physical one and the strength one, their only categories that they are on are the Shadow Dragon Saga and then Full Power. So this guy would obviously not be on the Shadow Dragon Saga because this has not happened in the Shadow Dragon Saga. But instead of that, he would be on Time Travelers and Dragon Ball Heroes, because I'm assuming that all these guys are going to be on the Time Travelers category, just because that's every single unit in the Dragon Ball Heroes category, I think, is on Time Travelers as well. So the only reason why I have this guy not at 20 is because he would make an incredible partnership link set wise with the Strength Omega Shenron on Full Power. And the full power, strength Omega Shenron is already giving 40% support to a full power unit, so them together could be really, really impactful on that team. But other than that, I mean, this guy's not really going to be making a dent anywhere else. Next we have this Goku. Now, this Goku is obviously he would be super, super good on a lot of different teams, right? And we're going to see that throughout the next maybe 5 to 10 different cards I have on here, where they're super, super hype, but I feel like they're just not going to be buffing those like teams that need the buffs, right? So we have this Goku. His name is just Goku, by the way, so it would sort of be competing with other base Gokus in the game. Namek Goku have the same name as this guy. I guess he is Ultra Instinct though, so yeah. No, actually, yeah, he is Ultra Instinct, so he would be competing directly with the Int Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. So I guess that would be fine, because that Goku's a little bit old now, and I don't think they would care if this guy outdated that guy. Or that guy they thought that guy was outdated, and now they're bringing in this guy, right? So, I mean, Pure Saiyans, Realm of Gods, Dragon Ball Heroes, Time Travelers, Full Power, not Full Power, he's not the white-haired version. So, I mean, yeah, in the actual card game, this guy's like a super, super powerful defensive unit. He barely takes any damage, so I don't know what they would do with this guy. Maybe just make him like a super big, like a super like wall-ish tank or something on Realm of Gods. I don't really. Does Realm of Gods even have one of those? I can't even think. But that's this Goku. Next we have Blue Kaio-ken Vegetto, and this is one of the bigger ones that I see people talking about a lot when they talk about Heroes Dokkan Fests. And this guy would definitely check off a lot of boxes: Last Resort, Patara, Realm of Gods, Full Power, Time Travelers. Like, it's a lot of different categories, right? This guy would be powerful on all the categories that are already the best. That's the reason why I have him so low on the list, because yes, he would definitely sell a lot on the banner. Like he would that easily hit top grossing, I think, and a lot of people would pump out the cash for this guy. But in terms of actually helping out categories that need the help, I don't think this guy's up there. But I mean, if they were going to do Heroes Dokkan Fests and they were like, okay, we've made a decision, we're actually going to start doing this, then I think this guy is probably one of the top ones they look at to start out with, just because of the way that how well this guy would sell on banners. So that's Kaio-ken Blue Vegetto. Next we have Kaio-ken Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and this is pretty much the same exact thinking that I had with this guy. They're kind of neck and neck. I don't really know who I would choose over the other, but I think the Fusions team definitely needs help more so than the Patara team does at the moment, and that's why I have this guy a little bit above the Vegetto. This guy would not be on a Realm of Gods though, just because he's Super Saiyan 4, not any sort of God form. He would be on Time Travelers, Dragon Ball Heroes, Fusions, Full Power. Am I missing anything? I don't know, but that's. I mean, this guy looks cool. Everyone would summon for this guy too, right? So exactly the same thing as this guy. And then this guy, I mean, this guy could probably go here after Kaio-ken Blue Vegetto. This is just Super Saiyan Vegetto Kaio-ken, or just Super Vegetto Kaio-ken. He would be on Realm of Gods, but he would be on Super Saiyan instead. Which team is better, Realm of Gods or Super Saiyan? I would probably say Realm of Gods right now, so that's why I'd probably put this guy ahead of this guy a little bit, just because he would help that team out. But it's not like that team needs help at all right now. Yeah, I mean, this is Vegetto Xeno too, so he would have a different name than this Vegetto, because this Vegetto, this Vegetto is just not Vegetto Xeno, he's just regular Vegetto, and he would be Vegetto Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaio-ken. So yeah, that's what we got there. Next we have this Mira Toa Absorb. Now this guy technically is based off of the Xenoverse 2 character, because the last boss of Xenoverse 2 is this Mira, and that was the game he originally debuted in, and then they sort of ported him over into Heroes, and he became a card over in Heroes. But they could market this guy as a Heroes character because they never actually did a Xenoverse 2 collab in Dokkan. This guy could be on Transformation Boost, which is the big one. Maybe Resurrected Warriors he could be on. I don't know if he would be on there. Full Power, I mean, Dragon Ball Heroes, Time Travelers, all that good stuff. So yeah, this guy could be good. Imagine if this guy was like a support unit for Transformation Boost. So like you have him and Cooler just like rolling around on Transformation Boost as the floaters. Like they're just supporting the whole team. It would be crazy. Next we have this guy, Dark King Mechikabura. So I feel like with this guy, and we're going to get into this later as we go on through the list, but This guy is obviously Dragon Ball Heroes' original character. He actually starts out as like an old version of himself, and then he uses the Dark Dragon Balls to wish for him to regain his youth, exactly like Demon King Piccolo. So, I mean, this guy definitely would be on Resurrected Warriors. He would be on, I don't know, Dragon Ball Heroes Time Travelers. I don't know, that's it, I think. So, I feel like with this guy, because now we're starting to get into like the Dark Demon realm sort of theme here, they could go ahead and add in a category with this guy. If let's say this guy was a Dokkan Fest, for example, they could go ahead and add like the Demon category for this guy, and he could be the leader of the Demon category, because that would include things like Toa, Deborah. They could throw on like Majin Buu on there. They could throw in like Demon King Piccolo on there. So I feel like that category could actually be a real category, but it would be very small. It would be kind of like Namekians in a way. So, I mean, this guy could have a double category lead, like the Demon category, and then something like Dragon Ball Heroes, I guess, or Time Travelers. I don't know. But this guy could definitely do, you know, be a support unit or something, and then transform to his younger self and be like a super hard hitter. I don't know. I'm just throwing out stuff. Next we have this guy. Okay, so this guy, Majin Ozotto. This guy actually debuted not in Heroes. He was from an arcade game back in the early 90s called Dragon Ball Z VRVS, and I believe it was a Japan-only game, arcade game. And he was actually the final boss of that game. He could like create illusions of like the other Z fighters and like fight you guys as like basically images of themselves. And then I think this guy was the last boss of that game. But he didn't really get traction at all, and he just sort of like floated away into nothingness after that game sort of died off back in the 90s, and then they just recently, I guess, revived him in Heroes, so now he's a card in Heroes. Again, this guy could be a demon sort of leader if they go with my idea for this character. Resurrected Warriors, I mean, I don't know if he's going to be on full power. This guy's a very weird option. I don't think they would ever do a Dokkan Fest or LR of this guy. I think this guy would be more so just a normal collab unit, or like just a normal banner unit, really. Next we have Cell Xeno. This guy is a very weird character in Heroes. It's basically just Cell from the Cell games with a Dark Dragon Ball like imbued in his chest, and he transforms into this giant version called Cell X. That's what like the abbreviation of Cell Xeno is when he transforms. And it's very weird looking, but this guy could be like a good androids character, artificial life forms character, transformation boost, time traveler, Dragon Ball Heroes, like all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, this guy could just be impactful on a lot of different categories. In the game itself, he is like a super like mega wall. His passive in the game in Heroes is literally like he cannot take above a certain amount of damage. Like it just caps at a certain point. I think it's 2,000 damage, just caps off. So that could be interesting if they put him in the game. Be like, his passive is he cannot take above 100,000 damage in one hit or something. He can't. Maybe he can't take above 50,000 damage in one hit. So he'll take. Maybe he would take a lot of damage from normal attacks, but he would not be able to take above 50,000 damage from a super attack or something. I think that could be interesting. But that is Cell Xeno. Now we're starting to get into like the second half here, where I think we're getting into, you know, characters who have a decent chance of making an appearance in Dokkan. We have Trunks Xeno. This guy's obviously Super Saiyan God, Trunks Xeno. This is actually someone that I thought could make an appearance in Dokkan during the collab that we got a few months ago for Heroes. Well, not a few. At this point, it's what, like 5 months ago? Because this card just came out at that point, and I was thinking if they did a Heroes Dokkan Fest, this guy could be the first Heroes Dokkan Fest, because Realm of Gods was that's exactly when Super Saiyan God Goku LR dropped, and I was like, oh, this is a good chance to release LR Trunks in Dokkan. So that was my thinking back then. This guy would be a good Hybrid Saiyan character on that team. He'd be a good Realm of Gods character, future Time Travelers, like all that stuff. So yeah, this guy could be pretty good. Next, where are we? We have, okay, so this is where we start getting into the Super Saiyan 4 stuff. Now, Super Saiyan 4, obviously, like all these Super Saiyan 4, I have like a bunch in a row here. We can just go through them. So I have Bardock, I have Broly. This is Super Saiyan 4 Broly. This is actually full power Super Saiyan 4 Broly. So basically like the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku version of Broly. This is Broly Dark. It's basically the Masked Saiyan, except it's Broly. But it's basically the same thing, right? His name would be different. His name would be Broly Dark. This is Broly Super Saiyan 4 full power, and then this is Super Saiyan 4 Broly. And we have Super Saiyan 4 Vegetto, and then finally we have Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. So I feel like they wouldn't implement all these characters at the same time, but I don't know, like they could, you know what they could do? They could do something like Super Saiyan 4 Vegetto Dokkan Fest or LR, and then maybe like banner units for Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, and Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. But that would be kind of ridiculous, right? Releasing that many new units. I don't know how they would really handle this, because if they release the Super Saiyan 4 Vegetto as a Dokkan Fest unit, I would expect this guy to be a Super Saiyan 4 category leader for like finally getting that into the game. Because at this point, if you release these other Super Saiyan 4 characters, at that point we would have enough characters that fulfill that requirement to actually have a category for it, and to make a real team out of it too. So I think that could be interesting. Again, I don't know how they would go about actually implementing these guys, but that could be a cool thing to happen. I've seen some people talk about this guy possibly coming for Saiyan Day this year. I don't think so, because they literally just posed the question for heroes to us, and I don't think they would do it this fast. But it's possible. We'll see. I don't think it'll happen, though. Okay, so that is what we have there. Next, we are moving into some Super Saiyan 3 stuff, because I think Super Saiyan 3 category is one of the least represented categories in the game, and it definitely needs a lot of help. Because, to be honest, there really aren't that many Super Saiyan 3 characters in Dragon Ball, just period. I mean, we have Goku and we have Gotenks. Who else is there? I mean, there's Broly that we already have. We have Vegeta in the game. And they intentionally threw those characters in there, Broly and Vegeta, like way quicker than other like quote unquote what if characters, because they knew that Super Saiyan 3 category was not going to be a well represented category. And the same thing when they introduced Bardock too, right? Like the Super Saiyan 3 category leader, they could have easily made it Goku, like release a new Goku. And then we also got Goku Angel, and then yeah, so now we have Super Saiyan 3 Bardock as the category leader for that team, and I feel like now we finally need to expand on that, because there just aren't enough Super Saiyan 3 category units in the game. So here we have Masked Saiyan. Well, technically he's Bardock Xeno, but he has the mask on. So we already have Super Saiyan 3 Bardock in the game. This guy could come out, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, but his name would have a Xeno on it, so he would have the he'd be able to use him alongside the existing Super Saiyan 3 Bardock already in the game. So I think this would be a cool character to have. I mean, he'd get on time travelers, like full power, all the same stuff we've been talking about the whole time. But the big thing is Super Saiyan 3 for this guy, so I think that could be cool. Okay, okay, so this guy. I was very close to putting this guy at number 2 or number 3. I think, where are we at? Like number 5, 4? So Super Saiyan 3 Broly, but he has a giant ape, or a great ape transformation. So this guy, A, would be able to be run alongside the existing Super Saiyan 3 Broly, the tech one, because that guy's eventually going to get an EZA, right? So he's going to be good. I assume they're going to make him good, at least somewhat good. And this guy would also be on the Super Saiyan 3 category, which is good, like I was just talking about. And he would be on the giant transformation category, which desperately needs help. So yeah, I mean, this guy checks off a lot of those boxes. Maybe have like an active skill transforming into a Great Ape. Could be pretty cool. I mean, we don't have a Dokkan Fest Great Ape character, so a lot of people saying they want the Saiyan Saga Vegeta to be that leader for the Great Ape team, and maybe we can have this guy be the second one. I mean, we'll see. Next, we have the guy that I personally probably want the most to release as a Dokkan Fest from Heroes is Demeigra. Now, technically, this form of Demeigra first debuted in Xenoverse 1, where he transforms into like the giant version of himself. He also was in Heroes as well. I think he came out like literally right after Xenoverse came out. And he was a secret rare. He's very, very powerful in Heroes as well. And I feel like the thing I was mentioning before, this is where we circle back to that whole demon thing I was mentioning before. Because I feel like if they were going to introduce a demon category, this guy would definitely be the leader for that. I mean, you have this guy, you have Toa, you have Mira, you have, if they wanted to go back and do Mechikabura, they could put him in, they could do Ozotto in there as well. You could do, again, all the boos you could put in there, you could put in Demon King Pickle, you could put in Deborah as well. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with the demon team, but again, it would be a little bit limited, so maybe like a transformation boost leader, or maybe even a giant transformation leader, because again, this guy is a giant transformation unit. So again, with the Giant team, I think the Giant team definitely needs more help. So this guy could impact all those teams. I mean, who knows what they could do with this guy. So now we're moving on to the two that I have tied at the number 1 spot. We have Super Saiyan 3 Vegetto. Well, this is guy's number 2, right? So we have this guy, and then we have this guy. Super Saiyan 3 Vegetto and Super Saiyan 3 Vegetto Xeno. I don't know what name they would use because technically we don't have either of these guys in the game yet. They could do both, I guess, but they would have to start somewhere. And I think they would probably start off with this regular Super Saiyan 3 Vegetto. So this guy's like a what-if character. What if he wants Super Saiyan 3 in the Majin Buu saga, basically, is what this character is. And then this guy is a completely different version of Vegetto. He's Vegetto Xeno, but Super Saiyan 3 version. So these guys have different names. Again, I think the biggest thing for these guys is Super Saiyan 3 category needs a giant buff. And they would work very, very well on that team and finally give them like the giant Dokkan Fest that they really need very badly. So that's him. And then at the number 1 spot, again tied, is Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta. Again, right here. Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta. This is like, again, what if he went Super Saiyan 3 versus Janemba in the movie, and then this is just Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta Xeno. And the reason why I have this guy above Vegetto is because I think the Fusions team just needs a little bit more help than the Potara team does. So that is pretty much my list. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I feel like there's some people who really don't care about heroes, and that's fine if you don't. But this adds a lot of opportunities for Dokkan to expand its rosters and power up teams that don't necessarily have like the depth to be good just naturally from the characters that exist in the franchise from like the manga. So them having this ability to sort of reach out into other mediums to take characters and ideas that wouldn't normally be able to be implemented into the game, I think is very, very good in the long run. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you all in the next one.